So training camp is officially about to be rolling in Baltimore, and with it comes a wave of updates and a ton of intrigue surrounding a Ravens roster that's arguably one of the most loaded groups in the NFL right now. From contract updates to elite player rankings to legitimate questions about whether this team can finally break through in January, there's a lot to unpack. So let's dig in and sort through all the real takeaways from the latest camp updates and surrounding storylines with this team. But before I begin, real quick, I would really appreciate it if you all would do me a big favor, smash that like and subscribe button because your support truly means the world. Alright, so first off, let's talk about the Mike Green situation, which has been a quiet point of frustration. The Ravens for the longest time haven't been able to get their rookie signed until earlier today. It wasn't because of any holdup on their end or Green's, but because of some unusual contract developments around the league. The Browns with Carson Schlesinger and the Texans threw a curveball when they gave their early second round picks fully guaranteed deals, and that shifted the landscape for the entire second round and made things difficult for teams like the Ravens, who were following the precedent set in prior years. But now the dominoes are starting to fall. The 49ers locked in their second rounder, Alfred Collins, to a deal that's mostly but not fully guaranteed. And we don't know the exact details into Green's contract just yet, but I'm assuming they're pretty similar. And the Bears actually followed suit as well by signing Shamar Turner, who was taken just 3 spots after Green, and that gave Baltimore the framework to finally finalize a deal, likely one with strong guarantees, but not all the way. In other words, the wait is over, and barring any setbacks, Mike Green should be on the field in short order. But while we wait for the official details on that contract, some Ravens are already making headlines, and not just locally. Kyle Hamilton was named the #1 safety in the entire NFL by ESPN's top 10 positional rankings. It's a bold statement, but when you look at what he's done, it's not undeserved. Hamilton was the only safety last season to post double digits in both tackles for a loss and pass deflections, along with 3 sacks and 4 interceptions. And even though his 2024 numbers dipped slightly across the board, over 60% of evaluators still voted him as the best in the league. Why? Because his value goes beyond just numbers. Hamilton's versatility is elite. He lined up everywhere from free safety to slot corner to hybrid linebacker. His ability to impact the game from so many alignments gives Baltimore a chess piece that very few teams have on the back end. One AFC executive tried to brush it off by calling him scheme specific, saying he lacks elite coverage skills and range. But if you watch Hamilton on tape, that critique doesn't hold much water, doesn't hold much weight, because he's a problem for any offense. He's a matchup eraser, a tone setter, and one of the most valuable defenders in the league, period. Now, if Hamilton is Baltimore's most versatile weapon on defense, then Lamar Jackson remains their most dangerous on offense. And the conversation around him continues to be full of double standards. There's this bizarre media narrative where Lamar is constantly held to a higher standard than other quarterbacks, especially someone like Josh Allen. If the Ravens don't win a Super Bowl, it's talked about like an indictment of Lamar's entire career. Meanwhile, Baltimore keeps falling short year after year, and Allen rarely faces that same level of scrutiny. Yet, when it comes to the rankings, Allen consistently gets the edge. It's a strange contradiction, it really is, and it's one that I've seen a lot of fans rightly calling out. But Lamar doesn't seem to be worried about the outside noise. The team around him might be the best supporting cast that he's ever had, and there's legitimate buzz about how much more explosive this offense could be in 2025. Of course, the addition of Derrick Henry last year brought a whole new dynamic to the run game, and once again, if Henry stays healthy, he'll give the Ravens a physical presence that teams will have to respect, as they had to in 2024. And that should once again open up everything for Lamar. If things break right, we could be looking at an MVP caliber season once again. It's ambitious, but think about it. Lamar for MVP, Derrick Henry as an Offensive Player of the Year candidate, Kyle Hamilton for Defensive Player of the Year, and one of the rookies like Malachi Starks or Mike Green for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Even Tyler Linderbaum could be in the mix now that the league has a new award for linemen. The pieces are in place. And that brings us to the coaching staff, because as loaded as this roster is, the pressure is absolutely on. There are no more excuses. Baltimore has had strong teams in recent years and still failed to get over the hump in the playoffs. If this version of the Ravens falls short again, the question has to be asked. Does the coaching staff need to be reevaluated? It's definitely a fair question, because while Lamar, Hamilton, Roquan Smith, and company are doing their part, there's been a pattern of January letdowns that need to be addressed. Harbaugh has been a steady hand since 2008 and definitely deserves respect for that longevity, but at a certain point, results do matter. A coach walking into this roster now loaded on both sides of the ball would have a very hard time failing, so if this group underachieves again, maybe a change is what's needed to finally maximize the potential, but I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Speaking of Roquan Smith though, there's been some conversation around him looking a step slower at times last year. Some analysts even went as far as to suggest he looked out of shape, but for fans who followed the team closely all this time, there may be more nuance here. Smith played through shoulder and chest injuries late in 2023 and may have come into the new season heavier intentionally to better absorb contact and take on more run-stopping duties, especially with Patrick Queen no longer next to him. It's an interesting theory, but the key thing to watch in camp is whether Roquan shows up leaner this time around. If he's trimmed down a bit, it could be a sign that he's ready to return to a more versatile role, one that emphasizes both coverage and downhill physicality. Either way though, he's still the heart of this defense, and his ability to adjust to what the unit needs from him will be critical. On the rookie front, Mike Green getting signed is obviously a big thing. He really could be an immediate contributor, possibly even a candidate for Defensive Rookie of the Year if the production is there. Malachi Starks is another intriguing name that I already mentioned, and both guys will be players to watch during the preseason especially. The Ravens did a great job in this draft in my opinion, and those new additions paired with key veterans give this team a perfect mix of experience and upside. As always, availability and development will determine who cracks the actual rotation, but Baltimore has the depth and flexibility to withstand some early bumps, and there's going to be those. The NFL season is a roller coaster. There's also a new level of expectation across the board. The pressure isn't just on Lamar or the defense or the front office, it's on everyone. This team is built to win now, the line is strong, the pass catchers are deep, the backfield has a proven workhorse, and the secondary is as dynamic as any in the league. And unlike past years, there's no glaring weak spot. You can make a case that this is Baltimore's best chance at a Super Bowl run in the Lamar Jackson era. They just have to finish. And if they do, this season could be one for the history books, not just for team success, but for individual accolades as well. And if they don't, the fallout could be harsh. The team might get blown up. There's too much talent on this roster to justify another early exit, and there's too much history with this coaching staff to avoid harsh conversations if it happens again. The standard has officially shifted in Baltimore. No more building, no more waiting. It's win or bust. Anyways, a few weeks ago, Lamar Jackson spoke to the media about this upcoming season, and here were some of the best things that he said.
Yeah, I feel like just bonding with my guys to help us out a lot more, you know, just on the field, just picking each other's brain, being around each other a lot more. We'll probably know what one of us is thinking ahead, you know, like we on the field, something going on. He already know what I'm thinking. I don't got to say too much, you know. Look over there. I got D-Hop now. Bait, these guys, you know, they know what I'm thinking without me saying too much. And that's bonding off the field, you know, so that's why I want to get my guys together. Just things like that, small things like that.
That's really all I got for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point. And if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly does mean the world. And also let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.